Thank you, John Corla. Minister, I welcome any additions to the scheme, but the scheme isn't right. And when I look at parts of the schemes that we're talking about here, and it includes Limerick, Clare, Sligo, Donegal, and Mayo, and other areas, I welcome it. Then I look at the figures. Currently, the latest data shows 3,022 homeowners are at stages on the scheme. Of this, 326 applicants have completed remediation works, and 1,057 applicants notified their relevant authorities. And I welcome the 10% increase. But today I hold a letter. As everyone knows, and if you don't, you'll know it now, I'm in construction. I'm in construction all my life. Block lane is my game. I know what I'm talking about. And today I received a letter from Roadstone, a CRH company, and it's addressed to me, so it's for me to read out. Dear customer, Roadstone has faced sustained inflationary pressures over the past year. Significant cost increases across the supply chain continue to impact operations, compounding by rising wage costs, heightened regulatory requirements and the implication of the EU emissions trading scheme. The upcoming phase out of free CO2 allowances, effective from the 1st of January, will further intensify these challenges. As direct consequences, Roadstone Limited must inform all customers the intention to increase the prices from the 1st of January. Guess what they're increasing the prices? 8%. And you've just come across then, we're after allowing 10% of an increase in cost. From my own experience, which I do on a daily basis, I'd be on site in the mornings at 7 o'clock. I was there this morning before I came here. I had 2 site meetings before I arrived up here today. On site, meeting people, meeting engineers, meeting different people. And then I look at some of the people that put in applications and they come back and they tell them, sorry, you don't qualify now for this 100% redress, but you qualify for the outside of your walls of your house to come down. We're not covering the inside walls. That's specialised work. Then we've contractors like myself, and we do specialised work. I don't do any work for the local authorities. All my building is directly for people. It's specialised work. Costs more. You then go in to dispose of any materials. It's specialised. You then look at having an engineer to sign off the building after it's done, that's down on foundations that are under today's regulations you can't build on. So one thing they're asking us to build houses and replace block work, which is a higher density block than what we were using, back on top of an existing foundation. And now you won't have engineers, they won't sign it off. And Minister Galleri talked about accountability. I wrote out a letter there a minute ago, part of the company, and they were part, if not all of the problems for pyrite in this country. And they've increased materials for me over the last 5 years. It's gone up 40%. And you say accountability. I asked the Minister himself that I would give him any help I could. I thank Charles Ward for the work that he's done, Paul McLaughlin for the work they've done. They've been at this from the very start since I've been on the Housing Committee with them. And since you haven't listened to one word that we've said. You don't take the experience from anybody that has the experience. There was a P&B here last week that we asked for people in civil service that are working outside of their remit and doing wrong to be held accountable. But I have a message for people that are doing wrong outside of their own remit. The voting is narrowing every time there's an election. And the day will come, that side of the House will feel accountability for not acting for the people of this country. They're vulnerable. The people that you could help now with common sense. He then came on with a scheme for engineers that had to be this engineering, that you had to be under this engineering crowd. We had home bond. Did it do us any good? For 6 years, they said they're looking after properties. We had to pay extra for them. Where are they? They're at home bonding, I think, but they're not helping the people of Ireland. So all these different agencies that you said that you're putting in place and the engineering, I have structural engineers that would design an infrastructure for you, and they're not qualified, they're saying now, to look at a pyrite house. These are structural engineers, but they're not under the new system of the ones that are to sign off. But yet the ones that are there to sign off for you to get a grant are not the same ones that will sign off to say your house is structurally sound. So where are we going? Round in circles. Let's circle the wagons again. Let's put another layer of bureaucratic bull in the place of where accountability should come into it. For God's sake, this thing has been rushed through. No scrutiny in it, and you haven't listened to one word that we've said in it. Not one. And you're going to let the same vulnerable people suffer over it. And then we hear 8% this week. Next month it'll be another 5%. Next month another 5%. And then you put on a 5% levy on top of it, on top of that. So, if there's to be any accountability in this house, it will be the day that that side of the house gets out and allows people in here that know what accountability is, that will stand up for the people that are suffering and make sure the people that tried to put regulations in place and tried to save the ones that done wrong,
thank you, Deputy,
including the concrete companies that were wrong, you're still helping them every single day.
Deputy Michael Collins.